Is anybody going to share the screen for the...
Yeah, Rohini Mataji will share, Mataji.
Yeah. So we are reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4. Yeah, Canto 4 and Chapter 2, verse 21. Daksha curses Lord Shiva, chapter name. So we'll recite the verse.
Anusuya Mataji.
Okay, someone.
Mataji, you are going to recite?
Whatever you say, Mataji. Okay.
No. Whatever, however you like, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah. I was just about to recite that.
Yeah, please.
Etan nrutyam udishya bhagavate aprati druhiyati agnya pratik dristis tattvato vimuko bhavet. If anyone else want to recite once more, can do it.
Hare Krishna, yeah. Ansuya Mataji. Mataji, you want us to read the translation and the purport as well?
Yes, yeah.
So, Ansuya Mataji, you can recite the shloka, Vasudha Mataji translation, and Shanti Mataji the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji pronounce. Yayetan matyamudishya bhagavatya priti druhyatyagnya pratak dristis tattvato vimuko bhavet. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is someone reading translation?
Hare Krishna. Can I read, Mataji?
Yeah, Vasudha Mataji read.
Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone who has accepted Daksha as the most important personality and neglected Lord Shiva because of envy is less intelligent, and because of visualizing in duality will be bereft of transcendental knowledge. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Purport, Srila Prabhupada Vijay. The first curse by Nandishvara was that anyone supporting Daksha was foolishly identifying himself with the body, and therefore, because Daksha had no transcendental knowledge, supporting him would deprive one of transcendental knowledge. Daksha Nandishvara said, identified himself with the body like other materialistic persons and was trying to derive all kinds of facilities in relationship with the body. He had excessive attachment for the body and in relation to the body with wife, children, home, and other such things, which are different from the soul. Therefore, Nandishvara's curse was that anyone who supported Daksha would be bereft of transcendental knowledge of the soul, and thus also be deprived of knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So here we are discussing the context where Daksha in the assembly got angry on Lord Shiva, and he cursed Lord Shiva and left. That's what happened in previous verses. And then after Daksha walked out of the assembly, something else like, Lord Shiva, he was very composed and he was not disturbed with any of this. He was completely meditating on, Ananta Shesha, and he was completely silent and he did not react or counter cursed or did anything. He was silent. And then he understood that, it is understood that, the master is blasphemed publicly. That is what Nandishwara noticed, because being the servant of the Lord, now after the Daksha cursed, even Shiva was silent, but Nandi cannot keep silent because, Nandi is serving the master, and anybody who blasphemes the master, the Supreme Lord, no one can keep quiet. And on behalf of Nandishwara, that was appropriate. So Nandishwara, he naturally got angry and became agitated. And then, But what happened in terms of Nandishwara in the 20th verse, when we notice that though he was a servant of the Lord, he has to do certain things like, to maintain the, the master's supremacy, but he crossed his limit without understanding what is actually the mood of the master. He didn't understood that. So understanding that, Shiva was cursed, and then Nandi, being the principal associate, became angry, and he started cursing, counter cursing and cursing happened. So Ishvara, followers of Shiva is affected by the curse. So it is understood that, if someone does a mistake, naturally, if you just go and talk to them nicely, and then make them realize their mistake, they may change their situation. So it is okay to do like that. But Nandishwara, what he did is that, child, like for example, if a child make a mistake in certain school or in any other places, he may get a bad name to the parent. Then the whole family got no because of that mistake, whole family got some kind of remark. So like that, what Nandishwara did is that just because of the mistake, Darsha, who is a Brahmana himself, did it, cursed Shiva, he actually started cursing the whole Brahmanas only. So, mistake is there, but a mistake can be corrected in various ways. But Nandishwara got infected with this so much of anger, and he started cursing. He was not tolerant. As a follower, he was right, but he was not able to tolerate the insult of his master. But he should have not cursed the Brahmanas who were present also. But this counteraction counter cursing the Daksha and all the Brahmanas who already, tolerated Daksha's cursing Shiva, this is something which is not appropriate. So when we think about uh, Srila Prabhupada also, when he mentioned that, anger is detrimental, to even a great personality like Daksha also, out of anger, only he said whatever he could say and left the arena. If someone, whoever present in the assembly, like they are Raja Rishis, Brahma Rishis, and everybody, they requested him to be there. But he didn't listen to anybody, and his anger is in such a way that he just uttered whatever he could and cursed, and he left away. So, but Prabhupada says that anger has to be utilized in a proper way. Any angry person, if they lose control of, they'll lose everything. So, we have verses from Nectar of Instruction where Srila Prabhupada writes in the purports that anger can be dovetailed properly and has to be directed towards, whoever blasphemes or whoever offends the Lord. It has to be dovetailed in such a way that they can be corrected. So we have examples like how Hanuman got angry on Ravana, and also, who offended Lord Rama, and then example of Arjuna, with anger, he fought in Kurukshetra war. Like that is there. So anger has to be utilized in such a way that there should be some transformation which is positive in that situation. And, if some people may hear, if you give the advice very softly and gently, they will hear. And some people will not hear until you raise your voice or strongly emphasize, until you show some anger. Now, there are various ways, but you have to assess the situation and do it. So, but anger has to be utilized to improve a situation, to rectify a situation, or to bring back a stubborn person little more, flexible, or some change in that person. That has to be done. So to exhibit, controlled anger is okay, but one should not exhibit uncontrolled anger. This is what happened with Daksha. He got puffed up, and he thought no one is greater than him, and and then he did not realize the mistake also later. And in that angry mode, he maintained like that for a long period, and even after cursing Lord Shiva, and then he left the arena. So this has made the issue complicated actually. So everyone started counter cursing after Daksha left. And in this verse, what it mentioned is anyone who accepted Daksha as a most important personality, neglecting Lord Shiva because of envy is less intelligent. Because see, the reason where Daksha did his uncontrolled anger he had is not even understanding the purpose of the assembly there, and they have come to do a sacrifice, and every other person is requesting him to stay back, don't calm down and all that, but he didn't understand all that, and he did, and then Nandishwara got couldn't tolerate that his master got cursed like this. And Shiva is not even moved by any of this. He was completely in samadhi. He was just meditating on the Lord, and he is not so much interested in all this at all. Yeah, so that, but Daksha was thinking that Brahma acknowledged being a Brahma is being the father of him, but Shiva is actually son-in-law. That is why he got more angry. That is son-in-law, and he is not respecting me like that. He got so foolishly like that. Daksha was identifying Shiva with a bodily relationship, that he is a son-in-law to me and he has to show respect to me. But if you think about it, Shiva was born before Daksha, so he is definitely superior to Daksha, but Daksha was not understanding that, and then he started cursing. So here it is mentioned that the Nandishwara cursed that anyone supporting Daksha foolishly, who is identifying with his body, they will not have any transcendental knowledge. They are bereft of transcendental knowledge. Like that, Nandishwara first cursed. And then, Nandishwara also said Daksha identifying with a body like a materialistic person. So, like, there are persons in this material world where they are totally into bhautika, what do you say, that material life. Another one, there are devotees or trying to become devotees, they're interested in adhyatmika, like spiritual life. So here, Daksha is representing like a materialistic person trying to derive all the facilities, connection with the bodily relationship, and that excessive attachment for, the child, Sati, and then wife, and then Shiva as a son-in-law, everything, at the platform of body, not at the platform of soul. So this made Nandishwara to curse, and then this was, and the curse he did is that whoever supports Daksha will not also have any of the transcendental knowledge about the relationship with the soul and with the Supreme Lord. So that basic signs of self-realization or basic spiritual knowledge one has to have in the fundamental thing, understanding about that we are not the body, we are the soul, and then not connecting ourselves with the bodily relationships is missing, and that made Nandishwara actually curse that this person who is having the vision of duality, which is he is identifying himself bodily relationships and excessively attached to the family. He is not understanding that he is different from soul, so he will be bereft with such knowledge, and also bereft with understanding the knowledge about Supreme Lord. So these two things, and then someone who neglect Lord Shiva and follow Daksha, they are supposed to be less intelligent. Like that, Nandishwara got upset and cursed Daksha. So counter cursing is happening here, unlike we see in other situations in various pastimes of Shrimad Bhagavatam, where we don't see like from famous personalities counter cursing. There are lessons to learn from both Nandishwara side and also Daksha side. So here we see that a student is supposed to get upset when a master got criticized, but a student also have to know the limits, that how far they can go to go beyond the limits, and how far before crossing the limits or even taking action, they have to understand the mood of the master. So here Nandishwara was a little bit aggressive with the angry mood, not understood the mood of the master, started cursing Daksha. Yeah, so we'll go to the next one, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Vrishbhanu Kanya Mataji, you can do the shloka and the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji. गृहेषु कुटधर्मेषु सक्तो ग्राम्य सुखेच्छया कर्मतन्त्रं वितनुते वेदवाद विपन्नतिः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Pretentiously religious householder life in which one is attracted to material happiness and thus also attracted to the superficial explanation of the Vedas, robs one of all intelligence and attaches one to fruitive activities at all in all, as a all in all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sudha Mataji, the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Purport wise Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Persons who identify with bodily existence are attached to the fruitive activities described in the Vedic literature. For example, in the Vedas, it is said that one who observes the Chaturmasya vow will attain eternal happiness in the heavenly kingdom. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that this flowery language of the Vedas mostly attracts persons who identify with the body. To them, such happiness as that of the heavenly kingdom is everything. They do not know that beyond that is the spiritual kingdom or kingdom of God, and they have no knowledge that one can go there. Thus, they are bereft of transcendental knowledge. Such persons are very careful in observing the rules and regulations of household life in order to be promoted in the next life to the moon or other heavenly planets. It is stated here that such persons are attached to Gramya Sukha, which means material happiness, without knowledge of eternal, blissful spiritual life. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Mataji, would you mind going a little up on the verse? Yeah, so here mainly focusing on Gruheshu Kutadharmeshu Shakto Gramya Sukhe Chaya. So translation, Mataji, can you little down? Yeah, so here we see here in the translation, Prabhupada is mentioning potentially religious householder life. Yeah, so they are attached to material happiness and they are attracted to superficial information or explanation given in Vedas, and they are lost in intelligence and they are attracted to fruitive activities. So here, Gruheshu Kuta Dharmeshu, it's like pretentious religion is Kaitava Dharma, which is cheating religion, which we also hear from Shrimad Bhagavatam initial verses, right, where Sambandha Abhideya verse, yeah? Where which is mentioned, right, Dharma Prochita Kaitava. So this is actually rejected. Whoever is trying to follow the spiritual life, they're not interested in this material happiness, Gramya Sukha. So the householder life who's observed in Gramya Sukha, material happiness, they are potentially religious, like how we understand from the pages of Bhagavatam, like Kaitava Dharma. So now they are attracted to superficial explanation of the Vedas, yeah? Karma Tantram and Vitanuti, Vedavada Vipannatihi. So this Karma Tantra. So what is this? Whatever, in the Vedas is given, they are only understanding little bit of whatever attracting to them and that they are following. And that way they are completely destroyed or robbed of their intelligence. Their intelligence is stolen completely because they observed in karmakandic rituals. They don't understand the essence of the Vedas. They get to that portion of the Vedas that prescribe, support, and direct them to actually sense gratification, and then sense enjoyment, nothing else. So we also hear from Bhagavad Gita. We in chapter 7, text 15. It is mentioned that there are 4 types of people, impious people who don't take shelter of the Lord. There it is mentioned that Maya Aparata Jnana Asuram Bhava Ashritaha. So persons or people who identify with bodily existence, they are attached to fruitive activities. That is why their intelligence is lost. So intelligence lost means they don't understand the purpose of the Vedas. They only understand whatever is relevant to them to that point of time where it is driving, giving them the satisfaction in enjoying in this material world. That's all. Nothing else. Yeah. So, but what is in other hand, Vedavada Rata means it's understanding the essence of the Vedas. What is the essence of the Vedas? We all know from Bhagavad Gita, right? Can anyone remember? What is the essence of the Vedas?
Supreme Lord Mataji, Krishna. Sarvasya
Yeah, 15:15. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Would you like to recite?
Vedaisya sarvairahameva vedya vedam sakrit veda videva.
Yeah. So Vedaischa sarver ahameva vedyo. Vedanta Krit Veda with the Evacham. So Krishna is declaring that I am sitting in everyone's heart. From me only remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness will come. And he also mentioned by all the Vedas I am to be known. And he's a compiler of the Vedanta. I am the knower of the Vedas. So the objective should be Krishna only of all the Vedas. But some people now they study Vedas and they completely ignore this. That object is Krishna, and they get into interest in karmakandic rituals, which lead to higher sense gratification and enjoyment, and they ignore Krishna totally. If Krishna is to be known by Vedas, and if Krishna is ignored, and you are fully engrossed in material enjoyment and planning to go to higher planets to, make your life maybe, better there, then they are getting cheated. Real essence is not there. Real essence of Vedas is to know Krishna and to become Krishna and make Krishna as an object. That is what. So that's why they're all, attracted to the superficial explanation of the Veda and robs one of all intelligence and attaches one to fruitive activities only, nothing else. And we have more verses also from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, verse 44. There also it is mentioning Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktana Tyaphartha Setasa. Right? So Bhoga Aishwarya. Bhoga is what? Enjoyment, right? And then Aishwarya is opulence. So everyone is running behind this. Bhoga and Aishwarya. They're totally caught up. Prasaktana. And their mind is stolen. Like that. Yeah. For such people, the devotional service will not take place in their heart. They will not make Krishna as an object of their love. So that is an unfortunate situation like that. So they are attracted to enjoy and opulence only. So this is what Nandi is cursing, that these people who are attached to material happiness, attracted to superficial explanation of these Vedas, their intelligence will be lost, and they attach to karmakanda only. So enjoyment and opulence like that. So in the minds of these people, they're attached to sense enjoyment only, nothing else. And who are bewildered by such things, then only then determination of devotional service will take place. Otherwise, nothing. So Nandi is not only cursing Daksha, who is a Brahmana, the son of Brahma, he is cursing all the Brahmanas here. So he is, what do you say that? He is not leaving anybody, not sparing anybody, like that. So here we see in this material world also, everything is unsteady. So you see, every one of us, like how Daksha and Nandi was projecting or getting reacted, we also get infected with anger, get agitated with some negativity coming in this material world, or whole that atmosphere will be charged with such kind of negative waves like that. So we have to be careful in observing the rules and regulations in our household life. Now, here the purport says that the persons who are interested in materialistic enjoyment, they are very careful in observing rules in order to go to the heavenly planets. These heavenly planets are there because they are attached to this material happiness, and then they are not having any understanding about this knowledge about Satchidananda Vigraha, that is Supreme Lord, who is the cause of all causes. They are fully in Gramya Sukha. Then they are thinking that they are going to heavenly planets and enjoy there. So that is not actually recommended. But Daksha, Nandi is cursing like this, that all the Brahmanas will be like this. They will not, they are very careful observing, but only thing is they are careful is that their aim is to go to higher planets, not that aim is to attain the love of God or understand the Supreme Lord, that we have, of all the Vedas we have to understand Supreme Lord. That is missing. So that is the curse, and Nandi has actually given to all the Brahmanas. So we see that nowadays outside, how many of them are really interested in uttering the Vedas properly? Like in previous generations, if there is any particular let's say Tithi we do in our families for forefathers, if we do, there is an elaborate thing which they do for over half a day. And then the Brahmanas will come and then utter the mantras and they patiently do everything. All that was there. Now, with the, Kali Yuga progressing, no one is having that much interest or, time to do all this. Every one of us is cutting down what we can do like that. So this is also, because of the curse, the Brahmanas are also not attached to any understanding about Supreme Lord. They just, uh, with the dakshana only they are interested, that is done, and then they utter some mantra and they go. If you inquire from them, very, very less people will give you the understanding about who we are, what is our relationship with the Lord and soul and Paramatma, Jivatma. They cannot answer all this. All their business is come, do this, that's it. If you don't have time nowadays, we have online also, we can just pay some Lakshmi and they will do it. They do it, we know they did it, that's it. Finish. So this is the status happening. So that curse which is relevant nowadays, we see that in the whole Brahmanas, how its degradation is happening. This is because of the Nandi's curse only. So no one is interested. They do like finish this place and they go to next place, they do there and they go. It's becoming like a profession, not like trying to really make understand people what is the purpose of doing anything like that. Yeah, so it is mostly prevalent nowadays because no one is understanding the essence of Vedas. Yeah, like that. So let's go to the next one, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Archana Mataji, you read the shloka, and Janki Mataji, the translation. There's no purport.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Someone reciting? Archana Mataji, Archana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Pranam Mataji. बुद्ध्या पराभिध्यायिन्या विस्मृदात्मा गति पशु श्रीकामसोऽस्तु अधीतरां दक्षो बस्तामुखोचिरात्. हरे कृष्ण.
Janki Mataji,
Translation.
the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Daksha has accepted the body as all in all. Therefore, since he has forgotten the Vishnu Pada or Vishnu Gati and is attached to sex life only, within a short time he will have the face of a goat.
Yeah, so this is again Nandi has mentioned that, yeah, he's forgotten about everything, that he is a servant of the Lord, like that there's no understanding to him, he's totally engrossed in his materialistic mentality of enjoying the life, and then in short time he will be beheaded and he got the face of goat, like that. Yeah, so we'll go to next one, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Padma Mataji, you can recite the shloka, and sorry, Divya Mataji the shloka, and Padma Mataji the translation, Anita Mataji the purport. Hare Krishna.
Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, yes, very nice, Mataji.
Okay. Text 24. Vidya buddhira vidyayam karma mayam asaujada samsarantva iha ye jamam anu sarva mananinam. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who have become as dull as matter by cultivating materialistic education and intelligence are necessarily involved in fruitive activities. Such men have purposely insulted Lord Shiva. May they continue in the cycle of repeated birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The three curses mentioned above are sufficient to make one as dull as stone, void of spiritual knowledge, and preoccupied with materialistic education, which is nuisance. After uttering these curses, Nandishwara then cursed the Brahmanas to continue in the cycle of birth and death because of their supporting Daksha in blaspheming Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna.
So here continued, the Daksha's curses continued, and then the main, the drawback here to the Brahmanas is that they will be revolving in the vicious circle of birth, death, old age, disease. They'll keep on taking, birth after birth, like that. Those persons who are dull with materialistic education and with minds attracted with flowery language, and then have joined hands with Daksha, supporting, blaspheming Lord Shiva. So may that such followers of Daksha continue in samsara, always remaining attached to fruitive activity. So this is the curse, three curses mentioned above. So they are like devoid of people who get devoid of spiritual knowledge. So we have to be very careful with this curse which Nandi has given us. It's a lesson for us to learn is that don't be too much engrossed in cultivating material education. So we have to make sure that whatever we are like, what are the karmis do? They just, worship the Lord, but they offer the result, that is okay. But bhaktas, they don't actually worship the Lord to offer the result. They only serve the Lord to serve the Lord only, to please the Lord only. They won't expect anything in return also, and they offer everything to the Lord. They are meant to serve the Lord or become servant of the Lord, nothing else. So it is important for us to understand that this gaining spiritual knowledge is required, understanding that we are not the body, we are the soul, and the philosophy which we are trying to follow in Krishna consciousness is helping all of us to rise above that platform. Like, Brahmana is not just merely having, as a birthright or, having, as we always hear from Prabhupada also, like, just having a Brahmin thread or, as a prestige, it's not that status where, Brahmana means they have to, read the scriptures, share the scriptures, they worship the Lord, they teach others to worship the Lord, they give in charity, they accept charity, everything like that. Yeah. So this is the main duties of Brahmana. It has to be done. So actually, it is mentioned in the fifth canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam, where we know in this Loka, there are higher planets where we have got, Ilavrata Varsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, these are all there. So there, the living entities, living beings, they have a higher lifespan, 10,000 years they live. They have extended facilities to enjoy, and they have so many other things where they can be fully immersed in all that and forget Lord, but they actually remember the Lord. They do enjoy for so many years, but they will never forget the Lord actually. And they pray to the Lord that they want to come back to this earthly planet so that they can quickly finish off that only 100 years of lifespan, so they can quickly finish off instead of such a lifetime is there for them. The best thing is that they don't forget the Lord. Here, when they see on the earthly planet, all of us are forgetting the Lord. So they feel sad about our situation. Being in the material world, it's very easy to reach to the Lord. So just following the Sankirtan Yajna, that's the only thing. There they do worship. Everything is going on. They also remember the Lord. But here we are forgetting everything. And that is unfortunate situation that we will continue to be in the cycle of birth and death. But see, higher planets, whoever has reached, they are planning to come to this planet so they can go back to Lord quickly in 100 years. Instead of 1,000 years, 10,000 years, they are enjoying extendedly. But people in this material world, in this Bhuloka, they are thinking, okay, I'll go to higher planets and then enjoy life there. That is unfortunate situation. Yeah, that is what they are only attached to the flowery words and of the Vedas that go to higher planets and enjoy there, but they are forgetting that they will continue to be existing in this cycle of birth and death, right? So we have from Bhagavad Gita also 9:20 that verse. What is that verse says? Traividyamam soma papa soma paputapa yagnerishta sarva gatim prarthayanti, right? Someone recite this verse.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Traividyamam soma papa puta papa yajnairištva swargatim prarthayante te punyamashadya surendra lokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Read the translation also, Mataji, please. It's
Yes.
someone else can read.
I'll read Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Those who study the Vedas and drink the somaras, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me directly, indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Thank you.
Yeah. If someone can read like this, see, unfortunately, there are many great scholars. From there, if someone can read.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Mataji,
Yes.
purport I should read, Mataji.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are
Yeah,
many
yeah.
great scholars.
Hare Krishna. Unfortunately, there are many great scholars of the Vedas who do not know the ultimate purport of studying
The Vedas.
them. Therefore, Krishna here declares himself to be the ultimate goal for the Trivedis. Actual Trivedis take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord. Devotional service begins with the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra and side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth. Unfortunately, those who are simply official students to the Vedas become more interested in offering sacrifices to the different demigods like Indra and Chandra. By such endeavor, the worshippers of different demigods are certainly purified of the contamination of the lower qualities of nature and are thereby elevated to the higher planetary systems or heavenly planets known as Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, etc. Once situated on those higher planetary systems, one can satisfy his senses hundreds of thousands of times better than on this planet. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, so it is confirmed here, right? See, so someone who study the Vedas, who have knowledge derived from these Vedas, they are respected in the society. But these, unfortunately, all these scholars, who are scholars of these Vedas, they don't know ultimate purpose of studying them. That ultimate goal is to take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and serve the Lord. That is not happening to them. So this is the status of many people nowadays. Then they are simply studying the Vedas but not interested in understanding the Supreme Lord. So that purification is not happening. They are just interested in doing some sacrifices to different devatas, and then by such endeavor, what is happening? They are certainly purified of the contamination, and then but they are not able to. They go to the higher planets, they enjoy there. Once their pious deeds are finished, they'll come back. Shine Punya Martam Loka. So they'll come back from the heavenly planets to again to this material realm, like that. Yeah. So there is like this. So when Nandi is cursed, also same thing. Materialistic education. Whoever is trying to cultivate that, they are unfortunately losing their intelligence. So they are involved in fruitive activities. Unfortunately, they are not understanding what is the purpose of their life, and then they are also taking part with Daksha, supporting in blaspheming Lord Shiva, and they will continue in the cycle of birth and death only. So this is the curse which he has given to Brahmanas. Yeah, let's go to the next one, Mataji. 25th.
Chandana Mataji, you can read the shloka. Ansuya Mataji is Ansuya Mataji, you read the translation. I'll do the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
गिराश्रुतायान् पुष्पिण्या मधुगन्धेन भूरिना मत्नाचन्मतितात्माना सम्मुह्यन्तु हराद्विषः. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. May those who are envious of Lord Shiva, being attracted by the flowery language of the enchanting Vedic promises, and who have thus become dull, always remain attached to fruitive activities. Purport. The Vedic promises of elevation to higher planets for a better standard of materialistic life are compared to flowery language because in a flower there is certainly an aroma, but that aroma does not last for a very long time. In a flower, there is honey, but that honey is not eternal. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the same thing which we were talking about, that the Vedas promising higher planets. Yes, you will go there, definitely, no problem. But how long it's going to last? After your pious deeds finish, you will come back. It will not last for a long time. So like that, there is higher planets also. There is no eternal thing. Maybe little more years, like instead of 100 years, 10,000 years is their lifespan is more. But that is not going to be like a permanent solution to them. All we have to do is understand the Supreme Lord, take the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, serve the Lord submissively, and then attain your eternal constitutional position, which is going to be permanent. We are the, what is permanently, we are the eternally fragmented part and parcel of the Lord. That part is missing here. Yeah, if you just keep on, trying to be envious, means in supporting Daksha, blaspheming Lord Shiva, this is what the status or their plight will be like that. Yeah. So let's go to the 26th verse, Mataji.
Vasudha Mataji, you can read the shloka. Divya Mataji, Mataji, the purport is very long. You want us to read the purport?
Let us see, Mataji. If you can read the verse and the translation, and then I will just go through the purport. Yeah.
Sure. So Vasudha Mataji, the shloka, and Divya Mataji, the translation.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, can you scroll up, Mataji? The fourth line.
Yeah.
Thank you. सर्वदक्षाद्विजावृत्यै धृता विद्या तपोवृताः वित्ता देहेन्द्रिया रामा याचका विचरन्ति इह. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. These brahmanas take to education, austerities, and vows only for the purpose of maintaining the body. They shall be devoid of discrimination between what to eat and what not to eat. They will acquire money begging from door to door, simply for the satisfaction of the body. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, so here again, what Nandishwara's curse, like, that Brahmanas supporting Daksha is actually right now what I have discussed, as I said, that it's happening in the Kali Yuga. They are no longer interested in understanding the Supreme Lord. They are, although they understand the, about Brahman, but Atato Brahma Jignasa is missing in them. Human form of life is meant for understanding that only. The main thing is that who we are, what is our relationship with the Lord, and that Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana has to be there. Last relationship we have to connect, and then there is a process to connect, understand how to serve the Lord and become a servant of the Lord in the disciplic succession, and then attain the goal of becoming eternally servant of the Lord. So human form is to elevate above this position of Brahmana, but unfortunately no one in this material world in Kali Yuga, we're all called so-called Brahmanas. I mean, coming from even as by birth Brahmanas, or even if you are accepting as a Brahmana, qualified Brahmana, who wants to, even some people who take Diksha, also Brahman Diksha, sometimes we may see they may not have that kind of qualities, not able to maintain or not able to do it, unfortunately. So, but, we have to correct ourselves at every time. We have to, come to the conclusion that, we follow the parampara, respect it, as described in the Shastras like Shrimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, follow it properly, not just for the sake of. Like how in the purport it said by Prabhupada, Brahmana is not a hereditary title or position. Yeah, before getting the second initiation, every guru will inquire from you, what is the reason for you to get? And they will do an interview, a lot of long procedure to get there. So that is not just, prestige issue to get it. If you get it, you have to really able to do something for the pleasure of the Lord. You have to commit for that. And then Guru's relationship with you increase in terms of your responsibilities to render to the society, to make sure that you are raised above this platform of Shudra, though you're born in some other culture or creed. Now you are coming to this position where you are qualified and you are taking the instructions of your Guru Maharaj, and then making Krishna as your object of worship, like that. So Brahmanas, having been cursed by Nandishwara, as actually they are losing discrimination here, because they lose discrimination to take education or follow the austerities or vows. Only for purpose of maintaining body they are doing it. They are devoid of discrimination of eating. And then he is cursing, let them become beggars simply for satisfaction of the body. So these curse of Brahmanas are completely functional in this material world. In Kali Yuga, we see a lot. So we have to understand from this verse that discrimination is not happening to maintain this material body. Such fallen soul, conditioned soul, is actually not worthy to be called Brahmanas. So in Kali Yuga, everyone is claiming like that they, coming from a family background as a Brahmana or hereditary title or position, they are actually, deprived of these qualifications. And they will not further progress. That is the current situation in Kali Yuga. But we see in the purport only, Prabhupada mentioned Chaitanya Mahaprabhu condemned this principle very strongly. And he has quoted example of what Ramananda Rai and Haridas Thakur. So we know Haridas Thakur is not, he's a Muslim. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given him a Namacharya position. So like that, even Goswamis, they actually worked under the Muslim, Nawab Hussain and all, so they are under the Muslim rulers, and later, Brahmanas in the society outcasted them because they worked and they were working under Muslims. They were forced to work like that. And then they were being in ostracized means they are being taken out, means they were being sent, they were not accepted anymore in the Brahmana society. But Lord Chaitanya is mercifully, gave his special grace, mercy, that they are first class Vaishnavas actually. They are Goswamis, means they are actually Manjaris in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I know this, none of the other people in the Brahmana society will understand their caliber or their potential, or how they are trying to serve the Lord, though they become as advisors to the Muslim king. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being the Lord himself, knows, and then he showered mercy on them and they become first class Vaishnavas. So like that, we understand, in this Kali Yuga, the only solution for us to get away from the curse of Nandi is to take a bona fide, shelter of a bona fide guru, and aim to get to that position where you will establish that Brahmana's qualification, not by, obtaining it as a title or prestige issue, but actually following it as per the vow or as per the oath we take, and try to do that as responsibly, and serve the Lord, like that. So Shiva is like noticed all this is happening in the assembly only, and then later Bhrigu also starts cursing, let the followers of Lord Shiva, this happens, continues. But Shiva actually is not bothered with everything. He become really very sad. What's going on here? I'm not bothered with any of this. Whatever is happening, both the parties are not up to the mark. So he leaves arena. It will come later verses. But yeah, that is the highest position of Lord Shiva. He is Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. So actually Nandi would have done in a different way, correct the situation. Nandishwara would have glorified Lord Shiva instead of getting into angry mood and not understanding the master's mood, and again counter cursing and all this. So if he had not done that and glorified, then his position would be different also. So Shiva was not pleased with either Nandi or Daksha or even later with Bhrugu's curses and all that. He just not concerned with anything. That is the quality of a Vaishnava. If a Vaishnava is not interested in, we have the verse now from Shishastakam. What is that? Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishuna amanina manadena. Right? Yeah. So a Vaishnava is not, if you're not treated properly also, or glorified and put them in a vasasana also, anything they will treat it in the same only. If someone mistreat, they won't really get offended, or they don't feel offended, like how Shiva is showing as an example here, that they stay calm and they don't react to the situation. They don't think it is happening to them, because they're not on the bodily level platform. They don't take it to ego like that. When you see book distribution happen, when you go out to do Sankirtan, there's book distribution. Some people outrightly reject you, and you may feel so, take it personally, and you don't want to do any more like this, you will think. But actually, by the process of doing that, distributing the scriptures, the ego will go. You will not think that they are actually doing it to you. Yeah, like I was hearing that some of the Matajis in other reading groups, she was sharing in India, a lot of this donation, and people, when they go to book distribution, they were treated very badly. They all come and do this distribution, books, and then they ask for donation. Any other shopkeepers here and there, they just send their assistants and, just tell him to go away. It's just they don't have any other business like that. But if that person, comes to some other purchase or anything else in the shop, they will receive them nicely. The same person treat differently. So like that, we shouldn't take it anything personally. If someone is, criticizing or offending, we have to, think that there is something maybe not correct in us. So we have to try to check that. But understanding the mood of the guru is important. Here with Nandishwara's example, when you try to, raise your anger, or, utilize your anger in devotional service, you have to understand the mood of the guru. Then only you should implement it. Otherwise, it's not appropriate, because Shiva is not trying to is not satisfied or not pleased with any of the behavior there. He just thought, I'm not concerned with any of this. I just bothered with all this, and so that is the first class quality of a Vaishnava, that they don't get affected with anything. All that they wanted is to worship the Lord, take the shelter of the Lord, and that is what they are happy with it. Nothing else they are interested. So like that. So with this, I think we have finished the verses what we are supposed to cover today, completed that. Any Matajis have anything to ask or share? Free to do that. And then after this session, we have to do Damodar or?
Damodar, yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
So,
Hare
Vasudha
Krishna.
Mataji, is it for your question? You have raised your hand.
Hare Krishna, no Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, done. So, no questions.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Not
a question,
yeah,
Mataji. Mataji, thank you so much, Mataji. Pranams, Mataji. We have that shloka, no, Mataji. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya. Govindaya Namo Namaha. So he is the well-wisher of Brahmanas and cows and everybody.
Yeah.
But he particularly mentions, no, Mataji, it has been mentioned like Brahmanas. So he's very caring of Brahmanas. So when Nandishwara is giving such a curse, I'm not able to understand, Mataji. Like, when will the Lord takes it as very seriously, and sometimes he doesn't. As for my knowledge, Mataji. So why is it like that, Mataji?
Yeah, very nice question, Mataji. So see, as long as we are taking the shelter of the Lord, or accepting the parampara, disciplic succession, and we are trying to elevate our position to a Brahmana level, then we are always protected by the Lord like that. as mentioned in the Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanitaya Cha, is there for us to protect. We are not interested in flowery language of the Vedas, right? We are interested in understanding that what? Vedesha Sarver Ahameva Ved. Yeah, that we are interested in. Then why we are not impacted with the curse of Nandishwara. This is implied to the people who are materialistically engrossed and they are taking advantage of their position and trying to get elevate to higher higher planets. They are only trying to do the karmakandic rituals. Yeah, not for applicable to the devotees who are trying to practice brahmanical qualities or attaining qualifications or trying to read shastras and worshipping the deities and preaching others. This is not applicable to devotees or brahmanas in the category of devotees who are practicing.
It
Is
is
it clear,
applicable to
Mataji?
us, no? Hare Krishna.
Huh?
It is applicable to all of us also, no, Mataji, in some way, like when we become proud or puffed up with the
Of course,
knowledge and when we
if you are
sometimes fail to be
that
humble
is
and
definitely, you have to be humble only. Yeah, even if like I heard that, like, sometimes when Prabhupada was giving lectures, sometimes people may pose challenging questions. Huh? So challenging questions, if they pose, Prabhupada will not answer. They may think that, to test him, they will, ask such questions. But he can, he don't need to answer such questions. Yeah. So if someone is puffed up and trying to challenge someone, then that questions need not be answered. But also, if someone who is in the Brahmanical position, they need not think that we are the great. We are doing, even if you are so much scholarly, so much of these verses, that verses, and you can describe the Shastra nicely, but in front of everybody, you should think yourself as lowly. And we see the example of this from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, right? Gaur Kishore Das Babaji is a highly elevated devotee of the Lord, and he is just like Babaji roaming around, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj wanted to take initiation from him only. Right? He was not puffed up, and he was just not interested to make disciples also. Yeah.
yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Is
Thank you
that
so
clear,
much.
Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Some in some situations, like we get to know, like the Lord gets very angry. So when his devotees are offended, even Daksha is a devotee of the Lord only, no, Mataji. He's a Vaishnava.
Daksha is a
He's
Brahmana.
setting an example. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. The Brahmana. That means
Brahmana
one who
who
knows
is
about the one who knows about the Supreme Lord is also a Brahmana, no, Mataji? In that way,
that's
Mataji.
right, but Daksha is not actually understanding the Supreme Lord. He thought he is only connected to Lord through bodily platform. He's thinking that he is his son-in-law.
Okay,
Right?
Mataji. Hare
He is
Krishna.
not considered Shiva as Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. He only considered Brahma like that, but not Shiva. But Shiva is actually superior to him. He took birth before him. If you think like that, his son-in-law means is not like, give respect to him, but he is actually son of Brahma too, right? And is born before him. So he has not understood completely the essence of Vedas. Daksha. So that is, Brahmanas in that followers of Daksha all got the curse by Nandishwara.
Yes, Mataji. Sometimes we also do like that, no, Mataji, like seeing only who are practicing, only we consider them to be devotees and the rest we don't. So
That is
it
the
is
mistake. We
take
should
away
not
point.
do like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we should
Yes,
not do
Mataji.
like, though we are devotees, we have to be like compassionate to everybody. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, no?
The animals,
Otherwise,
Mataji, especially.
huh?
Especially the animals and all that, Mataji. We
Yes,
don't care much, like
that's right.
dogs and all that.
Yeah, I heard one small story. I don't know. Mataji said, no, I shouldn't go overboard
I'm
about that.
very sorry, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Got
Yeah, you shouldn't be puffed
understand.
up in any situation in general. That is, humility is the important factor in Vaishnava. That is what Shiva is showing us. as an example also, Lord Shiva. He was so humble, he was not, he only got affected, but he didn't he didn't got angry. He was so composed with that. As he thought, he thought only himself as a servant of the Lord. So whoever criticized, it didn't bother.
Yes, Mataji, we have to develop that mode of
Yeah,
Lord Shiva.
we have to follow Lord Shiva and just be as a servant. Above the Brahmana is Vaishnava. And that is where Lord Shiva is. Yeah, so we have to not just think about becoming Brahmana, we have to even rise above that platform of Brahmana and become a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is someone who is compassionate to every living entity, not just devotees. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, Narayani Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
No, Mataji. It's okay. It's fine. So, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, you can show us your altar.
Yeah. So I have to move my place. I am in a different location. So I'll just...
you can turn off your camera. Yes, Mataji.
Camera and move. Okay. Thank
you.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem.
Hare Krishna.
I think others are ready with Diya. And wick on it. Hare Bol. So who will sing?
Mataji, can I sing Damodarashtra?
Yes, Meenakshi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, I've asked.
Please let me know, Mataji, when to start. Yeah.
Yeah, once Mataji will show her altar, Mataji, we can start. Mataji, your background is blurred. You can uncheck it, Mataji. Blur my background. You can just uncheck it. Hari Bol. Shri Shri Gauratai ki jai. Laddu Gopal ki jai.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं गोकुले व्रजमानम् नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्ठलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोधाभियो लोकनादवमानम् परामृष्टमत्यन्तधृतगोप्य रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तं कराम्बोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेकान्तकण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् अख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषु भक्तैर्तत्त्वं पुनः प्रेम तस्यां त्वष्टावृति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरिषादपीह इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्या विराष्ट्रं किमन्यै इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैः वृतं कुण्ठलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्य मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तादरं मे मनस्या विराष्टामलं लक्षलाभे नमो देव दामोदरानन्द विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यादिदिनं रतानु गृहाणेश माम् आज्ञम् इदाक्षिदृश्य कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमृत्यैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षग्रहो मेऽस्ति धामोदरः नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्पृहदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोधरायादविश्यस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमोऽनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमोऽनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा माता जी से थैंक यू वेरी मच हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna. Damodar Bhagwan ki jai. Damodar Manth ki jai. Hari Hari Bol.
Damodar
Srila
Ashtakam.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji.
Miss
Hare
Alta
Krishna.
Mataji. Thanks
Thank you
for
so much,
darshan.
Mataji.
Your altar.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
I'll just request everyone to stay back.
Thank you.
Mataji, you can leave if you want. You can leave. Everyone else can stay back. So we will just discuss about that whether we should do it every day or it's only for first day and the last 5 days. That is Bhishma Panchaka.
Every day, Mataji. Every day.
Every day?
Every
Okay.
day we'll do, Mataji.
Yes,
Okay,
Mataji.
fine. So one person has to